Hi, this is Steve Arnold. I'm the Regional Director for the Draft Ben Carson for President Committee, and I wanted to tell you about some of the exciting things that are going on. We have so much that's going on with our committee, and much of it is related to what is happening in our nation. Right now, you all know the state of the nation. It is grim. We need a leader who is a conservative, who believes in the Constitution, who actually loves this country. I believe that Ben Carson is that man. I believe that he can win. The next Republican nominee needs to be a man who can energize the base of the Republican Party while at the same time expanding the base. This is what former nominees have not been able to do. John McCain, Mitt Romney, they have not been able to expand the base of the Republican Party, and it has led to disaster. Many people who typically vote Republican did not go to the polls and vote. This is because they didn't perceive that their nominee was actually a real, solid, true blue conservative. And that would not be the case with Ben Carson, because I think Dr. Carson clearly is a true blue, reflective conservative, somebody who just naturally comes to conservative principles. I believe he believes in the Constitution. I know that he loves this country, and therefore he can not only energize the Republican base, but he can expand that base to get the numbers necessary to beat Hillary Clinton or beat Elizabeth Warren or beat whoever the Democrats put up. Whoever they put up will be a statist, will be a liberal, will be someone who believes in more power for the government. And I think that Ben Carson would stand for the opposite. So our efforts, I believe, are paying off because Dr. Carson has been saying more and more things that sound like a candidate for president would say. He has been talking like a presidential candidate. The reason for this is that the Draft Ben Carson Committee has now over 400,000 signatures from people across the country who have said, I want Dr. Carson to run for president. If he runs, I will help him. This is a huge boost to Dr. Carson because he wants to make sure, before stepping into the presidential candidacy waters, he wants to make sure that there is enough national support for him that he can carry on a successful campaign. We have collected those 400,000 signatures. We have also collected over $10 million in contributions from 130,000 different people across the country. Most people give $20 and $30 and $50. And this is so much better than the other campaigns of folks like Hillary Clinton, who will have their campaign underwritten by people like George Soros and people who are extraordinarily wealthy, but very few of them. It's so much better to have many people because these people give a contribution to your campaign. They're in your corner. They talk you up to their family and friends. It gives you a major head start. So what we need to do is get involved in National Clamor Day. Now, I wish I could say that I made that up. I did not. Patricia Phillips did. She is our fantastic coordinator in Virginia, and she has done such an outstanding job. She really, really has. She's gotten hundreds and hundreds of signatures from folks in Virginia, and she came up with the term National Clamor Day, and I think it's really good. It expresses just exactly what we want to, because Dr. Carson has said that if enough people clamor for him to run for president, he will do it. So we have a polling place petition drive, and that is where we need your help. We want to get as many volunteers as possible to go work the polls on Election Day, November the 4th. And when you work the polls, as people are going into the poll, typically they know who they want to vote for. They're walking in, they're kind of grim-faced, and they kind of know their civic duty. But as soon as you have them coming out, they're happy to talk to anybody about anything. And we want to have as many volunteers as we can at the polling place talking to these folks on the way out of the polling place, because then you can ask them to sign the petition for Dr. Ben Carson, and they will be very receptive to that request on your part. We have this polling place petition drive on November the 4th. We know that it works because we've tried it before, and it's easy and it's fun. You can go out, you can get a chair, you can get a bowl of candy, ask somebody to come over. Do you want a piece of candy? Ask them if they like Ben Carson. Typically they will say yes. Tell them you are out there trying to get Dr. Carson to run for president. Will you please sign the petition? They will say absolutely, be glad to. And they will sign the petition. You'll talk with them a short while, and then here comes somebody else out of the polls. That's the way it works. And so it's really somewhere where you can't go wrong. We will provide all of the paraphernalia that you need. We'll give you the bumper stickers and the palm cards and the brochures, and we won't give you the candy. We figure you can you can go to the store and you can get some candy. You can bring a chair, maybe a table, and bring a clipboard, and you can probably print some petitions off on your computer at home. But I'll be glad to send you petitions if you cannot do that. We want to get signatures on the petition. That's what it is all about. We've also got T-shirts, Dr. Carson T-shirts, that we will give to those of you who work the polls. So we just need your size, and we will send it to you ahead of time so you'll be able to wear that T-shirt while you're working the polls. Please go also, and this is an extra message here that I wanted to tag on to the end of this podcast. I'd like you to go to meetup.com in your state. I'd like you to search for Dr. Ben Carson. You can join Meetup. It is another social media network that allows us to put people together that want to get Dr. Carson to run for president and want to help him win the election. This is what we're trying to do. Now, also look for your state Facebook page. It would be Carson 2016. Probably have your state initials in there, so it'd be like NC Carson 2016. And if you were in North Carolina, and you can look for that Facebook page and try to and join up with that Facebook page, because we will give you constantly information on how you can become involved and what you can do at the polling place for this National Clamor Day. We need people to work the polling place. You have probably received an email from me on volunteering. Please forward this to your friends. Take the email, go down there to the bottom, forward it, and forward it to as many people as you can in your database, in your collection of names. That would be a huge help, because there are many people. If you want to work the polls, I guarantee you can talk somebody else into working those polls with you. Or maybe you go in the morning and somebody else comes in the afternoon, and you can set those folks up. So that would be tremendous if you would do that for us. We really need to have an impact on Election Day, November 4th, this year. I want to thank all of you. This is Steve Arnold, Regional Director, and I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank all of you for the work that you do in trying to help save this republic. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the survival of the nation. We cannot survive another 8 years of a Obama-like presidency from Hillary Clinton or someone else. A liberal left president will be completely inadequate. We must have a conservative, a constitutionalist, somebody who can bring the nation together and put the federal government back on constitutional grounds. I want to thank you again for all that you do. Have a very blessed day.